Everybody, Mr. Bucko back. I want to do a quick example that's a review of algebra that you did a lot in algebra that we saw in geometry earlier this year. That's writing an equation given 2 points. So I'll get started with that. And it says on the screen here, given an equation for the line, give an equation for the line that contains the points 1, 4, and 2, 11. The first thing that I need to do if I want to write an equation for a line is find the slope. And we have 2 points, and given 2 points, we can find the slope. And we first label the points as x1 and y1, x2 and y2. So we have our first set of points here, our second set of points here. x1 is 1, y1 is 4, x2 is 2, y2 is 11. And now we can find the slope. And we do that by plugging that into the slope formula, which is taking the difference of the y's divided by the differences of the x's, which in this case would be 4 minus 11 and 1 minus 2. And notice I'm doing y1 minus y2 divided by x1 minus x2. I very well could have flipped that around and done 11 minus 4 and 2 minus 1. I would get the same thing, so it doesn't matter that I switch those around, but we make sure that we go in the same order. So 4 minus 11, 1 minus 2, that gives us negative 7 over negative 1, because 4 minus 11 is negative 7, 1 minus 2 is negative 1. That can be simplified to positive 7, and that is our slope. So our slope here of this line that contains these 2 points is 7. So we plug that into our slope-intercept form. Remember, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Plugging in 7 for m, we get y equals 7x plus b. We're almost done. The next thing we need to do is find the y-intercept of this line, the value of b. And this is the tricky part that most people get caught up on. So quick, how do we do that? Now notice I have 11 equals 7 times 2 plus b. Well, where did this 11 and this 2 come from? Well, that came from this first point that I was given. That 2 got plugged in for x, and that 11 got plugged in for y, because that's an x and y value. So I easily just plug those in there. I very well could have picked 1 and 4 too, but I just picked 2 and 11 just because I wanted to work with those. But 1 and 4 would have given us the same result. Now from here we can solve for b. We have one unknown, so we can solve for that. So once we simplify here, we get 11 equals 14 plus b. This 14 comes from 7 times 2, 14. And then we use basic algebra, subtract 14 on both sides to solve, and you get negative 3 equals b. So we now have our slope that we found right away, and we now have our y-intercept of the line that contains these 2 points that we were given in the beginning. So plugging that into our slope-intercept form would be y equals 7x minus 3. This here is our equation for the line that contains the points 1, 4, and 2, 11. And if we go and plug in 1 for x, 4 for y, we will get a sentence that makes sense. And if we plug in 2 for x, 11 for y, we will get another sentence that makes sense.